But the Raw after WrestleMania, what was it going to start with? I thought it was going to start with one of two things. It was going to start with John Cena, or it was going to start with Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman. But it does start with John Cena, and he goes out there and he's getting booed. I love that he's not trying to be the cool heel. He is just trying to go out there and make sure that everybody hates him. If you missed the interview with Pat McAfee from yesterday, that was just solid gold. You got to go check. His was good. Paul Heyman's was freaking nuts. What he was saying about Shannon Sharp and all these, talking shit to Michael Cole. Like, Paul Heyman was on a heater yesterday at Pat McAfee. But John Cena comes out and does this thing and points to the Tron, says 36 dates left. That's all he's got left. And you're just wondering how this segment is going to end. Is Cody going to come out? Is it just going to be John Cena? But no, he turns around. You hear him audibly say shit, and he gets dropped by Randy Orton with an RKO. I love it. This has been one of the craziest feuds over the last 2 decades. Backlash, we know, is in St. Louis. Randy Orton's a St. Louis guy. This writes itself. The promos over the next couple of weeks are going to be fantastic. Next up, the Women's Tag Team Championship match between Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria against Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. And we know that Becky and Lyra won the titles at WrestleMania. And then they do a title switch here. And Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez win the Women's Tag Team Championships for the 4th time. And then Becky turns on Lyra. She clotheslines her, and then she runs back in the ring, beats her down again, runs back again, 3 manhandle slams. I don't necessarily hate that Becky is necessarily a heel, but maybe I do. Like, when WWE needs to realize, and they get this, I don't know why they get this wrong so many times, is when you have a popular figure, like, nobody wants to boo them when they come back. Like, when you had Edge join the Judgment Day and he was a heel, it was like, we haven't seen Edge in forever. We want to cheer him. We haven't seen him. Like, they have to go through the loop for like a year because you go to all these different places that haven't seen this guy or this girl in a long time. When you see, if you're a Becky Lynch fan, right, and she comes to your city and she's a heel, but you haven't seen her in a year, you want to cheer her. Like, that's the thing. WWE misses that sometimes. And now you have a situation here where, why did Becky take Bayley's spot anyway? If this was the case, then why didn't Becky just come back on Monday Night Raw and then turn on Lyra? I just thought that was just, I don't know. It felt forced. It didn't make much sense. And then next, the New Day comes out. And you guys know I am just so happy with what the New Day have done. I love their heel turn. Alpha Academy comes out with Maxine Dupree, and I think she's getting better and better on the mic. And Otis and Tozawa, they beat them in 60 seconds. So it's just only natural that they get a tag team title shot, right? Yeah, sure. Until we see the return of Rusev. No, it's not Miro anymore. Miro's dead and gone. That's AEW. This is Rusev. Comes back in, beats the crap out of Otis and Tozawa. Hit him with the Machka kick and then the camel clutch last accolade on Otis. Love that. But again, that's another thing, right? Like, people want to see Rusev. It's been, 5 years? Nobody wants to boo Rusev. So is he going to come back as a heel? I don't know. We'll see. Next up, Io Sky. And she's out there talking on the mic. Just give her so much respect for really focusing on her mic work. And you can tell she's really working on her English. And then here comes Stephanie Vaquer, the NXT Women's Champion. And we see this, I don't want to say every year, I don't know this for sure, but the Raw for WrestleMania, as much as it's about surprise returns, sometimes you see these highlight matches. And I want to say, was it Gargano or Ciampa or Adam Cole years ago, highlighting some of the NXT talent? Makes so much sense. Makes so much sense to me. They did a fantastic job, and then they, of course, could not finish their match because here comes Roxanne Perez and here comes Julia. And they come out and they ruin everything. And then Rhea Ripley comes out to makes the save, and she hands Io her championship, says she's coming for her. I like that. Matches like that make sense. You highlight. I thought Vaquer's look great. I thought Julia's she looked so much different than even just seeing her on NXT. There's so many good women at the NXT level right now with Vaquer and Julia and Roxanne Perez, and there's just so many of them. We'll be here all day. Kiana and Kaylani, and just like there's just a lot. It's incredible. And then Jey Uso comes out. Jey Uso comes out, and this took a while. Sami Zayn comes out to celebrate with him, and I really thought there was a couple of times where I thought Sami was going to turn on Jey. And there was one point right before Jimmy came out where Jey was on the turnbuckle and Sami was standing on the mat, right? And I was like, oh, here it comes. And it didn't come, and I don't have a problem with that. I like sometimes when there is no heel turn, because then when it does happen, you still get a little surprised. So that happens. Those guys do their thing, and it was a celebration. Every once in a while, I got no issue with that whatsoever. Then they go to break and then come back, and here comes Gunther yelling at Michael Cole. And Michael Cole, like, doesn't back down, and, you know, he, like, pushes Michael Cole, and then here comes Pat McAfee with, like, a flying, like, forearm. Like, he looking like AJ Styles out there. And then Gunther locks in the choke on Pat McAfee for what seemed like 10 minutes. McAfee turns red. He passes out. His boys jump over the barricade. They're trying to get in there. Everybody's holding them back. And, man, Gunther held on to that choke for a very long time. And they walked Pat McAfee all the way out. All the way out. And he was coughing. Like, it was crazy. And, you know, Pat McAfee does the celebration with Jey Uso. And, you know, you had to know something like the receipt was going to come. And then Michael Cole ends up, after he walks Pat McAfee back, tells Adam Pearce, like, hey, this isn't the way it's going to go. You got to take care of your commentators. And he walks back out there, and he finishes the show with Joe Tessitore, which sometimes two play-by-play guys can step all over each other, and it doesn't sound good. Last night showed you why Michael Cole and Joe Tessitore are two of the best in the business, because their timing and chemistry was fantastic for guys that have not done this together before. As somebody in the business, I was thoroughly impressed and not surprised one bit, because that's what it's all about. Let's see what else. Dominic Mysterio and with the Judgment Day against Penta. He is able to defend his title. JD McDonough comes through, hits and pushes him off, hits the 619, and there you go. And then last but not least, here comes Seth Rollins. He comes out. Paul Heyman's there. He's about to, really get into his shtick here, and here comes CM Punk. His music comes down. He comes down to the ring. They brawl. Punk grabs him by the throat. Rollins messes him up, stomps him. Heyman grabs the mic, declares Rollins the number one star in WWE. Here comes Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns comes down. He Superman punches Heyman, sets up for the spear. Someone in a hoodie spears the ever-living crap out of Roman Reigns. And who is it? Braun Breaker. Wow. And we had a feeling that Paul Heyman was going to bring Braun Breaker into the fold somehow. But this combination with Paul Heyman, Braun Breaker, and Seth Rollins, watch out. I love this. Because for a guy like Braun Breaker, right now, we don't need to see him on the mic. He still needs to get the rub and understand what being a main event talent is like. He's, Intercontinental Champion a couple of times. This is perfect. This is perfect for him. Slow burn with Braun Breaker. Take your time. And don't be surprised if somebody else gets added to the group, whether it's a female. You add Becky in here? I don't think so. Do you add Austin Theory in here or Carmelo Hayes? Or maybe do you dip down NXT? Do you bring Ethan Page up? Right? You start looking at some of the guys. Do you bring Ricky Starks? Probably not. He's full babyface. But I love it. I think it is awesome. Great way to end Monday Night Raw. The Raw after Mania did not disappoint.